Well, hello there and welcome back. In this week's video, we are going to jump into this series on how to craft a career in surface design. And today's topic is licensing. I am Anne LaFollette, a surface pattern designer, online educator, and creative entrepreneur. And over the next 5 weeks, we're going to dive into all of the different ways that you can make money in this huge industry called surface design. If you missed last week's video, go back and watch it because that's where I described what this industry is all about. Now, today's topic is licensing, and I've got 3 tips for you. The first tip is that you need to be patient when you want to go the licensing route because it actually takes a little bit of time. And the reason it takes a little bit of time is because you have to pick an industry that you think your designs would be really good in. You have to identify companies in that industry. They're going to be the best ones for you to target. You need to have a completed portfolio so that when you decide what companies you want to approach, you have something to show them. And also you need to start to build your network so that you know who are the art directors at those companies that you could send your portfolio to, or a link to your portfolio if it's actually on your website, for example. So that's the biggest thing, is when you think about licensing, you have to realize you've got to be really patient. It's going to be a longer term process, but it's definitely worth it in the end. And the reason it's worth it in the end is because as a licensed designer, you earn a licensing fee based on the designs that the company sells on your behalf. Essentially, licensing is you're renting your designs to a company. They're putting those designs on products that you've approved for them to put them on, and then they're selling them on your behalf. And after they get those sales receipts, they can calculate how much money should actually come back to you as your licensing fee. So it's very, very interesting, and it's definitely an important category to be very knowledgeable about, and you may want to dive into it. But the biggest sort of caveat around it is that it does take a little bit more time than some of the other ones I'm going to talk about. But here I want to give you 3 quick tips if you're interested in licensing. So the first thing is start to think about the right industries that might be good for you, the ones that you're super passionate about and that you're willing to kind of put the work in to identify like companies inside that industry that would be the right ones for you. Then you definitely need to keep working on your portfolio. That's my second tip. Keep really making sure you've got a lot of artwork so that you can handpick the best of the best to put into a gorgeous portfolio, because that's going to be kind of your business card or your greeting card when you start to approach companies. And then number 3 is it's going to be very important for you to start to network. You can use LinkedIn. You can also go to trade shows as not as a presenter, but just as part of the audience to collect business cards. But you're going to want to get the name, the telephone number, and the email of art directors at the companies you've targeted, because you're going to have to make contact with them. So I have a free ebook for you that I think I mentioned last week, but there's a link to it below, which will tell you more about licensing and also give you some specific examples of people who are doing that today, who've come into my hashtag Anne's Universe. We're going to move on, and next week we're going to talk about direct selling and what's involved in that as another option for you to explore. I always like to say in closing that I am Anne LaFollette, and it's never too late to create. Bye for now, and I'll see you next week.